Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia, and as you guys saw in the title of this week's video, we're going to be talking about 12 books that I want to read in 2024. This year, I'm on track to read anywhere between like 40 and 45 books, but that's like my best reading year in the history of ever. So I figure if I set this list of like 12 books that I'd like to get to for next year, then it gives me some breathing room to read some new books that I hear about and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped for this video. Also did not mean to be as festive as I am. I don't know if this will age well into the new year when it's not Christmas anymore. But my mom got me these pug pajama pants and they're so soft. And I've been literally living in them for the last 3 days. So you couldn't pay me to film somewhere else or change my clothes for this outfit. So with all that said, we're just going to dive into those 12 books that I want to read in 2024. I wasn't sure exactly the best way to do this. So I have some of the physical copies here with me. You can't see them, but they're all hanging out down here. And then there's some books that I don't own. And so we're just going to kind of bounce around, I think. So the first, I guess these two kind of go together. The first and second books that I want to read in 2024 are you guys ready? David Copperfield by Charles Dickens and Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. Let me just say that I really, really hope I'm setting myself up for success. But I don't know if I am. These books are huge. Do you guys want to know how long the audiobook is for David Copperfield? 34 hours. 34 hours. That is absurd. And yet I'm going to do this to myself. I'm going to say that I want to read these books next year. But yeah, these are my first and second books that I want to read in 2024. I'll be quite honest, I have no idea what they're about, but I think it's going to be good for me and my brain. So yeah. Usually what I do is I pull this in. Yeah. Can't see the Christmas tree as well, but you can see my books. All right. The next book that I want to read in 2024, I keep almost saying 2023, but that's fully not the situation. The next book that I want to read in 2024 is The One by Kiera Cass. I've read the entire selection series, the first series, the second series. I read them when I was in middle school, I want to say, and was obsessed then. I reread the first two books again this year and really enjoyed it. And for some reason, I remember this one being the best book, and I didn't get to it this year. So yeah, this is a book that I want to read in 2024. It's basically like The Bachelor in a dystopian world. If that doesn't get you, I don't know what will, to be quite honest. These are really fun, and I'm really trying to get over I have this stigma around rereads. I'm oh, that's not making progress if you're rereading a book because it's not adding to your total number of books that you've read. But I think that's really dumb and something that I need to get over. So you'll see a few rereads in this little pile. Because if I don't put it on this list, I don't know if my psychology and my brain are actually going to let me read them. I guess we'll stick with rereads because I don't know, it's kind of a vibe. The next book, and honestly guys, entire series that I would like to reread in 2024 is the Darker Shade of Magic series. I've also talked about this a lot on my channel before. Long story short, I read the first 2.5 books and didn't finish the third because I have this weird thing where I don't like it when series end. So I want to go back and reread the Darker Shade of Magic series. This book is literally one of my favorite fantasy books I've ever read in my entire life. Basically, there's these 4 Londons with varying levels of magic in them, and our main character, Kel, can move between each of these Londons, and that's a really rare magic. Anyway, it's so good, and I love it, and I just want to know what happens at the end. So this book, Darker Shade of Magic, is on my list for next year. And I think this is the final reread situation. Also not going to dive into this because I keep talking about it, but I've read about half of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I didn't finish it. It's what I do. I'm trying to get over it. Maybe that'll be my thing next year, is finishing series. Wouldn't that be so nice? I would actually love it if I could be described as the girl who starts book series and finishes them, because currently that's not my description. So I do want to go back and reread. I've actually already reread the first book, so continue rereading and then finishing the Throne of Glass series next year. The final book in the series, Kingdom of Ash, is literally like 1,000 pages. Again, I might be just screwing myself over, but I did successfully read the entire ACOTAR series in 2023. So I feel like this will be my like big series for 2024. Anytime I like sit down and film these videos, I'm like, Olivia, why did you ever stop reading those books or like reading those series while you were in them? Like, I literally don't know because they were so good. All right, moving on. The next, honestly, there might be a few books in here. The next books, that I'm going to talk about, they are in my December TBR video. And so there is a chance that I will read like 1 or 2 of these in December. I want to accomplish as much of my physical TBR as I can this year. So I guess this video is like more specifically like tail end of 2023 and 2024. They're just like books that I really would love to read. And so the next book that's been sitting on my shelf for, I don't know, maybe 9 months, that I am determined to read very, very soon, probably the tail end of December, hopefully, is Anxious People by Friedrich Bachmann. So many of these books, guys, are just ones that have been on my channel, mentioned a million times. I swear the next books that I'm going to talk about that I don't own, I think I've like not at all talked about on this channel. So bear with me if you're a returner. But I do really want to read Anxious People by Friedrich Bachmann. I don't read a ton of just general fiction. I think something that I do like appreciate about myself and my reading style is I'm really open to trying every genre. Like, I definitely have read quite a bit of fiction, romance, fantasy, sci-fi, nonfiction. Like, I love it all, but I tend to read a lot more fantasy and a lot more romance. So I feel like this list is kind of pushing me to expand. And again, this is a book that I just found in a little free library. Everyone says it's amazing. Everyone said the author is brilliant. And so yeah, I want to read it. Tell me if you've read it, because I'm planning on reading this one probably before all of these. All right, this is the last book that I have a physical copy of, and that book is Educated by Tara Westover. This book, I am actually already a good chunk of the way through it because I've been listening to the audiobook. This has kind of been my like memoir era, you guys. This year I've read, if we include this one, but I probably won't finish it until 2024, that'll be either 3 or 4 memoirs, probably 3 memoirs for me, which is the total amount of memoirs I've read in my entire life. And I don't know, I think it's really important to read a classic every year, read like a nonfiction or a memoir, like just throw some educational stuff in there. And Educated is definitely, honestly, when I picked it up, I found this at the thrift store. I'd seen the cover like 1.5 million places, but I didn't know anything about it. Honestly, I was about to tell you what this is about. Maybe I won't. Like, honestly, going into this, having no idea what it was about has been a really positive experience for me. I know I'm not here to recommend you guys books. I'm here to tell you my goals. And so I would like to step back into this memoir and finish it in 2024, because memoirs are cool like that. You don't have to like read it all the way through and worry that you're going to forget everything, kind of like a fiction book. I'm kind of rambling, so Educated. Tara Westover, I really would like to read and finish this next year. All right, that's a hefty little stack of books, my friends. But honestly, beyond these, I have very few books on my physical TBR, and I'm like looking at it right now. I'm hoping to read most of them in December. So this will be like my entire physical TBR for the new year, which feels really good. On to the next thing. As usual, I've written the rest of the books that I want to read on this little post-it note because I'm living in the past apparently and don't write anything down on my phone. So the next book that I really would like to read in 2024 that I do not have a physical copy of is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This book, it feels now honestly like everyone and their mother has read it. Like, you just see it everywhere, and now the paperback has been released and I'm in line for it at my library. So it seems like all signs are pointing to the fact that I will read this book. Again, this is general fiction, so it's not necessarily the genre that I gravitate towards, but my best friend loved it. My boyfriend's mom was obsessed with it. Everyone's telling me to read it. And I know that when I do grab it, I'm going to love it. It's just like getting myself to do it. You know, it's hard. So anyway, Tomorrow and Tomorrow looks amazing. I will read it. I want to so badly at some point in 2024. I just feel like I'm going to love it. The next book on my 2024 list of books that I want to read is a book that I thought, really guys, I really thought that I was going to get to it this year. Things happen. And that book is Divine Rivals by, oh no, I don't think I actually know who that's by. Is it Rebecca Ross? And Divine Rivals, I think it's definitely fantasy. It might even be like a little bit of historical fantasy potentially. And I know it's about there's a war going on between the gods, and these two people are like writing to each other with magical typewriters, but one of them doesn't know who they're writing to. And I've seen people just fall in love with this story, and everything that I've heard about it makes me feel like it's the kind of book that I'll really enjoy. And it's just like a fun, easy, I think pretty light fantasy book. And with this pile of books that I'm signing up to read, I feel like I could do with some of that, you know? So I don't know. This is a book that I've been wanting to read, but since I don't own it and I'm not in line for it at the library, I haven't prioritized it. But I recently learned that it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I think next year is going to be the year of Divine Rivals, plus the second book comes out in that series. I think it's just a duology pretty soon. So then maybe I'll read the second book next year too. Who knows? Oh my gosh, guys. The next book I literally am so excited about. It has not come out yet. I think the cover for it was announced a month ago, 2 months ago, a little while ago. The next book that I want to read in 2024 is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Emily Henry has got to be, if she's not one of my favorites, she is my favorite author just of all time. Like, I just love her books so much, specifically Happy Place and Beach Read. Happy Place like gave me feelings that I didn't know I was capable of feeling. Like, that is how much I connected with that book. And every year, like, I started reading Emily Henry literally when Beach Read came out, and now every year it's been like the highlight of my year, waiting for that next book to come out. Like, it's just something that I live for every single year. And so this is supposed to be her next release in 2024. Don't even know what it's about. I think the cover's like navy. That's literally all I know about it, but it's just like an automatic read for me. I love her books so much. They're romance, but they have this element of like fiction. Like, they feel like so much more than just a romance. And for me, I do enjoy the romance genre, but when there's all these like aspects of real life and like things that could totally happen that are deeper and more emotional, I just feel like I connect with the story so much better. And that's exactly what she does. And I just live for it. So yeah, Funny Story, cannot wait to get my hands on that book. And again, I literally don't even know what it's about, but I'm just like, ugh, I'm probably going to love it. All right, guys, the next book that I am looking forward to reading in 2024 is the one and the only Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I'm actually currently reading Fourth Wing. Yes, it's very, very good. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I've been so busy with the holidays that I feel like I haven't had an opportunity to just like sit down and binge that whole book, which I totally could. But I'm really enjoying it, and I absolutely know that I'm going to want to continue into the second book. To be quite honest though, I have no idea what anyone's reviews of the second book have been. Like, I know everyone was obsessed with the first one, but I'm trying to like stay away from reviews of the second one because I just don't want to spoil the first one for myself, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if everyone's is as obsessed with it as they are the first one, but regardless, I think maybe the first one ends on a cliffhanger. I don't know. I think it does. So I'll probably either desperately need to read Iron Flame next or soon, because I don't know. I don't think I need to justify myself. Like, I just want to read that book in 2024. So yeah, that one just seems like I'll really enjoy it based on how the first one's going right now. We're down to our last two books, you guys, that I want to read in 2024. So that would mean that I've already talked about 10. Wow. That's a lot of books, you guys. And the next book that I would like to read in 2024 is The Richest Man in Babylon. I'm not even going to say what I think the author's name is. I'll put a picture of the book on the screen. This is a book that's been recommended to me primarily by my boyfriend, and it's one that I was going to read earlier in the year, but my library didn't have it. something happened, so I never actually got to this book, but I think it's like a series of, you know what? Again, I'm not even going to try to explain what this book is about, but I've just heard really, really wonderful things, and how the story that is in this book is really relevant and applicable to your own like financial wellness and success. It's not like a nonfiction book about how to be like successful or be the richest person or whatever. I think it's a lot of like anecdotal stories or something. I love it when people read my book recommendations, so it's really important to me to read this book recommendation, and it's pretty short. So of all the books that I've put on my TBR for 2024, I feel like this one will be the most manageable because it's definitely the least number of pages, and I feel like it'll benefit me and my like way of thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely one that is important to me to get to next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No! I accidentally put 13 books on here. Shoot! I don't know if anyone's going to be counting, but apparently this is my list of 13 books that I want to read in 2024. That doesn't ring as nicely. Well, then we'll let those be my last books, and then I'll put a bonus book in here because I don't want to hold myself to this. I like the idea of 12. Okay, guys, my bonus book. You didn't know that you were getting a bonus little section in this video, but you are. And the final book that I would like to read in 2024 is Powerless. This is kind of going around right now. I think the author of this book is on TikTok, potentially. I don't actually have TikTok. I don't use it. I just feel like I know I'll be watching my time disappear, and I can't do that to myself. But my understanding is the author like documented her progress while writing this book, and people like love it, which I think is so amazing. I know that it's a fantasy book, and yeah, we're just going to go with that. It's a fantasy book and there's a romance in there, and there's some magic in there, and some fun stuff. Okay, you guys, I have been sitting here talking about all the books that I want to read in 2024 for, I'm looking at the timestamp, kind of a while now. And I'm honestly really, really pumped about these books that I already own, the books that I plan to check out from the library, read on my Kindle, all that good stuff. So let me know what some of the books you guys want to read are in 2024. I feel like ever since starting this book channel, you guys have been kind of my best source of recommendations. I think what I'm going to do next year is maybe react to this video, see how many of these I actually accomplished. And yeah, I think I've said yeah like 100 times now. So look forward to an entire like 2023 wrap-up video sometime soon. I think that's going to be really fun. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, have a great day and a great reading month. Okay, you guys, bye.